This is my setup for the 50 megabits per second UART test. I have two FPGA boards with them in. This one also has a slow 115200 bits per second UART for connecting it to the computer down this wire. And these two UARTs, the high-speed 50 megabits per second ones, are joined together through this green and orange wire, and ground is this yellow wire. I programmed them using this Altera USB blaster, which I have to move between the two. And on this one, they have on the left hand side, you have the segments it displays in two parts. There's the left part, which is showing 115, and the right half that's showing 83. The left side is whatever it's receiving, whatever this FPGA board is receiving from the computer, and the right side is whatever it's receiving from this side. So the console up here, if I press, depending on how I've set it up, we have to turn something off. It's not that one. It's that one. There we go. Okay, so if I press A, which is lowercase a, which is 97 in ASCII, you can see that the FPGA board, this one, has received 97, which is the lowercase a. It's sent it's received 97 from the slow computer connection. It's then sent that via the high-speed 50 megabits per second one to this FPGA board, which is then sent it back again to here, which is why it receives 97, and then it sends that back to the computer, which is why everything I press appears on the console here. There is also, these boards are both listening to characters. This one's listening for a 0 or a 1, and this one's just listening for a 2. So if we press 1, have a look at this LED, you can see there's actually two LEDs, which is a real hassle. Yeah, you can see where I turn it off and on. So every time I press 1, it turns it on. Every time I press 1 again, it turns it off. So what's happening here is it's getting to this board. It's seeing the letter A, character, the ASCII character for 1, whatever that is, 49. And it's turning it at that LED on and off. And as well as doing that, it's rather than repeating back whatever it's hearing, this FPGA board will capitalize whatever it's hearing. So if I send a lowercase a to this one, this will receive a lowercase a, which will then send an uppercase a back to this, and that will then send it back to the computer. So lowercase a, and I get an uppercase a on the computer. So lowercase a is 97, which is why you see 97 on the left hand side over there. And it's receiving 65 from this one, which is why you're seeing 65 there. This one, if I send it a 0, it will send back 2 bytes for every byte I send to this FPGA board. So if I send in the second one, it will capitalize. The first one, it won't capitalize. So if I send an A, lowercase a, this board, the green FPGA board, said that I pressed 97, which is what lowercase a is. It would have sent it over to this FPGA board. That would have sent that lowercase back, and then right after that, it would send an uppercase a back. And you can see its own the green FPGA board has only received you can only see a 65, but it would have tried to display the 97 and then the 65, but because the time between the two is only about 100 nanoseconds, all the gates in here wouldn't have even had a chance to display the 97, you wouldn't have seen it. So that's why you only see the 65 on that side. Likewise, you can also make this green board send 2 characters to this for every 1 character it receives from the big PC. So if I send, that's once I press the button 2, which I have on the console over here, so I press 2. So now when I press A, it looks the same, it looks like the same as before, but what's happening this time is the green board is receiving the lowercase a from the PC. It's then sending out the lowercase a through the 50 megabits per second connection to this, and then right after that it's sending the capital A to this, and that's just repeating them back. And again you see this will be receiving capital A, sorry, lowercase a, capital A from this, and again you see the 65. So now I'll show you on the oscilloscope. So I have the yellow trace connected up to the first green FPGA board, what it's sending, and the blue trace is what the second black FPGA board is sending. Both of them are connected to the 50 megabit per second UARTs. So here I'm pressing A, and just leaving my finger on A, you can see what it looks like. The period of time after the first green FPGA board sends its character, and the second one, the second FPGA board sends its character, is about 30 nanoseconds. The period of time to send one character is about 100 nanoseconds. So if we get the blackboard to repeat a character, send 2 characters for every 1 it receives, you end up with something like that, which is me sending A here, and the second board is first sending lowercase a and then uppercase A, which is why it's slightly different. And you can see that they're sending, the second board is sending the second A as close as it can to the first A. And if we do it the other way around, oops, which we just stuffed up, totally stuffed up that one. Have to turn that one, okay, yep, there we go. So this one, I'm pressing A again. What now? The first FPGA, the green FPGA, is sending first the lowercase a, then the uppercase a, while the second FPGA is sending that in response to it. The second FPGA is not doubling any character. And you can see there is overlap. That's why I went to the great lengths to make both ways. The black FPGA can repeat a character for every one it gets, and likewise the green one can. This one is interesting because the black FPGA is sending data at the same time as it's receiving it, so I could test for some interference between the two wires that contain the serial data, which I found a bug which I think is due to well, I could get rid of the issue by increasing the synchronizer by 2.5 nanoseconds, adding an extra gate to the synchronizer. That seemed to solve the problem. But without that gate, that extra gate for the synchronizer, every 300, every 3,000 characters, I'd get the black FPGA board would receive an erroneous bit, and it would of course send that back to the green FPGA board, which would make it back to the computer. But with the added synchronizer, it seems to have fixed that issue. Anyway, that's my 50 megabits per second UART, which is the fastest one I can find so far.